Good evening. Does everybody hear me? You do. Okay. This is a special council meeting of Tuesday, March the 17th. The reason for this council meeting is to declare a situation of emergency in the city of Côte Saint-Luc based on certain circumstances, the COVID-19, and the fact that our city has a different demographic and different situation with respect to religious institutions, the amount of senior residences, the number of snowbirds that have returned or are returning to our community, as well as the fact that we have numerous hospitals and senior residences in our community. So we are passing this resolution, which will speak for itself. And I'll ask Councillor Sabag to read the resolution if you have it in front of you, and Councillor Burku to second it. Councillor Sabag, do you have the updated resolution, or do you, Councillor Burku? Councillor Burku, go ahead.
Yes, I have it. Just a moment.
In fact, if you want, I could read it. It's just fine.
I have it. Whereas the World Health Organization declared a pandemic related to COVID-19 on March 11th, 2020, whereas several measures have been taken by the City of Côte Saint-Luc in order to prevent and slow down the spread of the COVID-19 virus as per the directives provided by the appropriate health authorities. Whereas the City of Côte Saint-Luc has a high concentration of seniors representing over 30% of its population, including many snowbirds living in apartment and condo buildings who have been or will be returning home after extended travel. Whereas the City of Côte Saint-Luc also has one of the highest population densities per square kilometer in Quebec. Whereas senior citizens are most susceptible to be affected by the COVID-19 virus. Whereas the City of Côte Saint-Luc is home to 8 large religious institutions and many smaller ones, most of which continue to maintain services and hold celebrations. Whereas the City of Côte Saint-Luc has 7 senior residences and 2 hospitals and 1 CLSC on its territory. And whereas the pandemic constitutes an actual and imminent major disaster situation, immediate action is required to protect human life, the health and physical integrity of the population of the City of Côte Saint-Luc, given its particular demographic and population density. Whereas by virtue of sections 42, 43, 44, 45, and 47 of the Civil Protection Act, a local municipality may declare a state of emergency in all or part of its territory wherein an actual or imminent major disaster situation, immediate action is required to protect human life, health, or physical integrity, and specify the nature of the disaster, the territory concerned, the effective period, and the measures to be taken without delay and without formality. Whereas by virtue of the act, a state of emergency is effective as soon as it is declared or renewed. Be it resolved that in conformity with section 42 of the act, a state of emergency be declared in all of the City of Côte Saint-Luc's territory due to the COVID-19 virus pandemic, that in conformity with section 44 of the act, the mayor of Côte Saint-Luc be authorized to exercise the powers provided by section 47 of the act, that the state of emergency be declared for a period of 5 days from the adoption of the present resolution, and that during the state of emergency and in conformity with section 47 of the act, the Côte Saint-Luc, the City Council of Côte Saint-Luc hereby prohibits any indoor social and or religious gatherings exceeding 10 individuals on its territory and calls upon the Direction de Santé Publique to use all their powers and enforcement to shut down any of these said gatherings with the collaboration of the SPVM, the police. That the Côte Saint-Luc City Council further beseeches upon its residents and strongly implores them to undertake mandatory isolation for a period of 14 days for all those who return from abroad or on or after March 12, 2020. And that in conformity with section 45 of the act, the present resolution be sent immediately to the Minister of Public Security and the appropriate civil protection authorities in the territory of Côte Saint-Luc.
Moved by Councillor Burku, seconded by Councillor Sabag. All in favor? Anyone opposed? So it's carried unanimously, and this resolution takes effect immediately. It's good for 5 days. Our intention is to ensure the protection of our neighborhood. As already stated in the resolution, the city of Côte Saint-Luc has very specific demographics. We're a very small territory with high density, with a high percentage, the highest percentage of seniors in our city. We have many more religious institutions operating than any city of our size, hospitals and senior residents, and seniors coming back from abroad. And we want to protect you all. So we're taking these steps, as has been requested by many of the individuals from the religious institutions who need guidance, who have asked for guidance in order to make the necessary hard decisions. And what we are hoping is that this epidemic passes quickly and that the virus is contained, that we find a vaccine, so that the celebrations for all of these important events in individuals' lives will take place. They will take place in the future. And we do encourage you to go ahead with your ceremonies, respecting the rule of 10 people, and then streaming live those ceremonies so everybody can enjoy them, followed by celebrations, hopefully in the very near future. Thank you all for being with us today and working with us to ensure the safety and health of our community. So I have a motion for adjournment. Councillor Sabag, seconded by Councillor Cohn. All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you.